What is up, guys? If you don't know who I am, my name is Jared Clough. I'm a natural bodybuilder and a full-time online fitness coach. I'm 17 years old and I'm currently 27 weeks out of my second natural bodybuilding show. All over my TikTok and Instagram, everyone has been asking me about this show, all these things. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that right now, because in this video, I'm going to share every step, all the shows, and everything that's going into this prep to try and become the youngest OCB pro ever, and maybe even more. But without further ado, let's get into it.
What is up? To be honest with you guys, this is my third time trying to film this now, for the reason that I didn't just want to go through this video and just kind of explain what shows I'm going to do, what it looks like, my prep, all those things, even though that's clearly the purpose of the video. The reason I want to take more time here and what I'm going to start with here is I want to share exactly what got me into bodybuilding, why I love this so much, my why. What is my why for bodybuilding, and like why do all these shows? What even got me into it, right? So to really show that, it starts about a year ago, right? So as this is being filmed, today is August 7th, 2026. Last year, August 2nd of 2025, I stepped on stage for the first time in a natural bodybuilding show. This is my friend Bromley. We chose to do this together, and I'll touch all about this show in just a second, but the reason I even somehow started this is I was a sophomore in high school. I just finished up that year, and all my life I played sports. I loved football. I used to wrestle back in junior high, a little bit in high school, and play baseball too. Those were my things. So I was kind of just like the sports guy. I played football and baseball, and that was my passion. I loved sports. That was my thing. But at the end of the day, I also, the gym was included in that, and that's something I loved, right? I loved the gym. It was always there for me, and I was always, one of the stronger kids out of everyone. And whether it would be football or lifting with my friends, whatever, I would be, stronger than the lineman or whatever. I just love the gym, right? And I love lifting. So I ended up going through a breakup and different, hard times in my life, ended friendships, whatever, just a new chapter of my life. Um, and from that, I decided over that summer, I was switching to online school. I didn't have those same friends I played sports with anymore. And honestly, without playing sports or going in person anymore, I was kind of like alone. And all I really had left was that same EOS gym membership that, I still have today. But going to that EOS, I started going to a different one, and I met Bromley right here. I met some other friends too, but me and Bromley decided to sign up for a bodybuilding show just 2 weeks out from it. The reason behind that was because he was going to go serve an LDS mission, and which he is on now in Barbados. I miss him very much. That is my dog. But when I met him, he was posting content on social media, like gym videos, cool videos, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I started doing that with him, right? Something we bonded over. Obviously, I still post today. Now I just hit 10K followers on TikTok, and I think I'm at like 4,500 on Instagram. Pretty cool. But my point behind this is we sign up for the show 2 weeks out. Anyone who knows anything about bodybuilding, 2 weeks out before a show is crazy. There's a reason why. Obviously, this photo looks pretty sick off the iPhone, but even professional camera, I look a little smaller. Other shots. I was fat. I was not properly conditioned. I didn't know what I was doing. My posing was trash. It was not a great show, but I did the teen division, and that's it. And I took first, and my best friend Bromley took second. Couldn't have been happier, and I fell in love with bodybuilding. I watched this guy, which I didn't know what it was before witnessing it, but I saw him win this pro card, and I was like, whoa, I like that. I want one of those. Maybe my ego was through the roof winning this little teen division, hit my most muscular in classic division, thinking I'm tough, right? But I was like, from that day, I was like, I want to do this. I want a pro card, and that's kind of what started my love for bodybuilding. So obviously now Bromley's on a mission, and it's a year later. But from there, what I did is I hired a coach, Gabriel McKenney, who I had met after the show, and started working with him. And I bulked for an entire year. Obviously, hopefully you guys can see I'm a bit bigger. I went from 170 on stage last year to now finishing off my bulk, which I'm still pretty lean. If anything, as lean as I was on stage. So I've never really been as lean as I should be, but for truly stage lean, you get, if you know, you know. But still staying relatively lean here, and I'm up to 195 now at the end of my bulk here. I think it was 194, but pretty successful with it. So I was very happy working with a coach, tracking my lifts, tracking my calories, and then hopping on a meal plan even, for the second half of the year, like really dialing in and locking in on the gym, fully bodybuilding, really made my progress go crazy. I definitely put on a lot of size, but These were just kind of an idea of the macros I was eating during this bulk. Even near the end here, I got up to 500 carbs. So, 190 protein up to 500 carbs on training days. This is my training day diet. Only 50 grams of fat. I never went above, I don't think I ever went above like 60, even while tracking macros. And this is my rest day diet, obviously just a little bit less carbs. And these photos are just about a week ago now. I haven't even gotten a new check-in photo since this new thing I'm about to start, which I'll show you, which my pre-prep phase has started. But going into that, at the end of this bulk now, I'm starting my pre-prep phase. So, what a lot of people, think is crazy is like, oh, you're already lean, blah, 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 blah. If you're bodybuilding, but lower back and my back in general, pretty fat. Hamstrings, very fat. I carry a lot of fat in my quads too, very fat legs. My upper body's actually still like closer here to like 12% body fat, I'd say, maybe 13 because of my back, but like I have a pretty lean upper body. But in total, because of the legs, I'm closer to like 15% body fat truly. So my goal with what the pre-prep phase is. What is a pre-prep phase, right? Pre-prep phase is basically instead of doing, one long cut where I have to go from 15% body fat all the way down to stage lean, like truly stage lean, single digit body fat. It's a lot of stress. And, if you have the proper time and working with a coach, you can break it up. So it's basically, in simple terms, a cut, and then you can chill for a bit and then, do prep. So you get some of that excess fat off. That way you're in a really good starting point to start prep. So me starting this now is obviously my goal here is to go from this 15% body fat down to about 10 to 12% body fat. I'm currently 27 weeks out of this first show I want to do. And all I've really done is I've dropped my calories, my carbs a bit, and because I wasn't putting on too much weight even off of 500 carbs, and now I just upped my cardio to 100 minutes of incline treadmill per week, 10K steps a day, which I was also doing on the bulk, was the 10K steps. But for these 27 weeks, I'm going to take it slow, working with my coach, just trying to lose some fat nice and slow, and don't mind my clenched cheeks here. Brutal. And once I get down to this body fat, legs strided up to the hips, like just, leaner legs here, then we're just going to sit here at this 10 to 12% body fat, just sit at maintenance, main gain, until about 14 weeks out when we start our real prep. I don't have an entire slide for the prep for the reason that I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, right? Obviously, I coach bodybuilders. I know what a prep looks like, but like I couldn't give you any numbers, what I'm going to look like, all those things. So basically, though, it's going to be 14 weeks. The only difference is really now, we'll be tracking our sodium. Once we're under 10%, now we're doing our refeeds, collecting data, getting ready for our, peak week approach for this first show. And for this first show, the long-awaited answer is it is going to be the first show we're doing is going to be the OCB Space City. Shout out Justin Fernandez here. This is my coach, Gabriel McKinney, who I was just talking about. Gabe coaches Justin, who did this OCB Space City, and he took second for the pro card last year. So now he's going to run back this same show, and I thought, hey, let me go with you, right? So this is going to be my first show. I will still be 17 at this show. My goal is to win my pro card before I turn 18. That would be the record for, youngest pro card won. Classic physique. I think there was like an 18-year-old that did men's, maybe another 17-year-old in men's, but it would be the youngest classic physique pro for the OCB. And that's kind of why I like this date here, February 13th. I turned 18 on March 2nd, so plenty of room for backup shows. But here's a screenshot here back like when I was still 16. I was like 16 years old. Pro card before 18, mark my words. Obviously, this part's covering it, but that's something I want to throw in. This is something I've really, really wanted for a while. But at the end of the day, you never know who's going to show up. This is who won that pro card last year for Classic Physique. Obviously, he's not going to be competing in here again because he already won. But you just never know who's going to show up, man. That's why I also have backup shows. But my goal is to bring a pro-level physique, right? With that being said, the second show I want to do is any NPC natural show. Now, there is backups around that time when I want to do an OCB show, but these are just some screenshots of NPC natural, because some people don't even know that's a thing still. They think NPC is the route to win your IFBB Pro card, but difference is this is Fearmere, who I'm a big fan of. I've made a couple of videos about him, but this is a natural IFBB Pro card. These are all natural shows. This is Gabe when he competed at the Whitney Jones. This is just an example. Cam Kissel, someone I look up to as well. But I'm going to do a natural NPC show, And if you win that, you get a ticket to go to a nationals. If you get top 2 in your division, then you get a ticket to go to nationals. And if you place top 2 in that, you win a pro card in your division. So, obviously, I don't know if I'm big enough for IFBB pro card. Who knows if I'm even big enough for an OCB pro card. I know I'm gonna bring a pro level physique, and that's what I'm gonna focus on. But you never know who's gonna show up. But I definitely still want to try for this because this is a goal I have later on. Same with Gabe here. Me and Gabe might even be competing in the same show together. Just an idea we had, but I would honestly be doing bodybuilding division. So after this first show, this OCB show I mentioned before is gonna be, I'm gonna come in around 85% leanness. I don't want to be fully shredded out if I'm gonna keep maintain that going longer through prep. So what that's gonna look like is I will be about 85% leanness for the first show, and then keep digging down and cutting in probably until late March or something like that, until I do an NPC natural show. Especially with NPC, you have to be leaner. It's going to be my second show, so I want to come in fully lean. Like, this is the focus one. And then also, if I do bodybuilding division instead of classic, you have to be peeled to the bone, vascular, just shredded. Obviously, you have to be shredded out of your mind for classic, but this is like to the bone, like no fat on your body, like. There's a different level when it comes to bodybuilding versus classic division. And the only difference between classic and that is the conditioning you want to bring, and also just the poses. So they add in a side tricep, a tricep, lat spread, and a most muscular. But these next shows are honestly unknown. I don't know what NPC show yet because they haven't released any of the dates on them. Obviously, I'll keep people in tune with it. The backup shows that I do, no clue. But what is set in stone is that OCB Space City, February 13th in Houston, Texas. But honestly, that is my plan for this season. That first show I'll still be 17. Any shows past that, I might be able to squeeze in another one before I turn 18, but I think past that I'll be 18 years old. You have to be 18 for the NPC anyway. Maybe I even do a WNBF show, just a different division, just see how the season goes, right? But I thought so many people have been asking me what shows I'm doing, all those things, and I just thought I should make a video here on YouTube, and let you guys in on it. So if you guys want to support me throughout this, these are my socials I post on every day. If you didn't come from these, this is my Instagram, and this is my TikTok, where I post multiple times a day on both of these. Some sponsors I have: Pro Sups, just signed with them, code BUFF10 for 10% off any protein powders, creatine. It's the same, pre-workout brand you've seen inside of Costco too. And then something I care about even more than that is NATTY Clothing, developed by Gabe here. I believe it's code jbuff for that one. I will link all of my supplements and socials down below if you guys want to support and get any Team Peak Natty merch. If you put anything on your story and tag me buying any of these, I will repost it and personally thank you. And last of all, if you want to learn to build an elite natural physique, either book a call with me below, or to any of these socials, DM me the word buff, and we'll have a conversation about what that would look like and get you on the team. Team Buff, if you don't know, is my online fitness coaching business for naturals. Whether you're a bodybuilder or just a gym bro, you want to get shredded, bulk up, whatever, I will help you. And it is what I do full time and pour my real blood, sweat, and tears into, as much as I do my own bodybuilding journey. I really appreciate you guys for watching this whole video. That is all for today. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that below. Thank y'all. I love you guys. Peace.